Thank you for collecting me from my place of employment this evening, Ted. I truly appreciate your assistance. It is my pleasure, Mother. I am happy to assist you. Incidentally, I entertained several friends at home this afternoon, and I am concerned that we have depleted our milk supply. May we stop at the local supermarket on our way home to acquire some for tomorrow morning? I believe the supermarket will be closed at this hour. However, we may stop at the convenience store located on Highway 57. It is not significantly out of our way, and I am certain they will be operational. They maintain hours of 24 hours a day. He drives to the store, his mother suggested. We have arrived. You were correct, the signage indicates open 24 hours. I do not believe I have visited this establishment previously. Let us enter. This facility is certainly distinct from the large-scale establishment to which we are accustomed, is it not, Ted? I do not frequent this location often, as I perceive their pricing to be higher than that of a standard grocery store. It appears to be a convenient location to locate items, however. Furthermore, they seem to maintain at least one unit of every necessity. The selection is limited, meaning there are only one or two brands of each type of merchandise, but that facilitates the decision-making process, does it not? Facilitates it in what regard? I take pleasure in comparing brands to ensure I secure the most favorable value for our family. Typically, I am not pressed for time, allowing me the opportunity to compare and maximize the utility of my funds. Naturally, on this occasion, our options are limited, are they not? Indeed, I suppose not. This is likely the only establishment operational at this hour. If we require milk and ice cream, we must purchase them here. Ice cream as well? Our list appears to be expanding. Nevertheless, I suppose we may acquire some ice cream, it is not prohibitively expensive. At the very least, we are not required to navigate through the dairy department. The ice cream freezer is positioned over there, adjacent to the milk and eggs. In fact, I would prefer to purchase an ice cream cone, if you find that acceptable. The pre-packaged variety does not possess the quality of those served in cones. In this day and age, most establishments do not provide ice cream in cones. I presume that is another distinction between these convenience stores and the larger supermarkets. They even provide ice cream cones at this location. One would rarely encounter that at a larger retail facility. Observe this, Mother. These hamburgers and hot dogs are prepared for immediate consumption. They are encased in plastic, and the label instructs that one need only place the sandwich into a microwave oven for approximately 30 seconds to have it heated and prepared for consumption. If you are hungry, we shall prepare egg salad sandwiches upon our return home. I shall purchase a dozen eggs here, ensuring we possess an adequate quantity. You would be well advised to browse the magazine selection, it may serve as a distraction from your hunger. I shall remit payment for the milk and eggs, and we shall conclude our visit. She proceeds to the counter with her groceries. Good evening, madam. I am Mr. Kim, the newly appointed evening manager. Have you located all the items you require? Yes, I have. Thank you. I am pleasantly surprised by your milk pricing. They are significantly lower than I anticipated. Your establishment is not only convenient for shopping, but your prices are competitive with those of larger retail chains. To what do you attribute this? Our pricing is competitive only on selected items. We are unable to compete across our entire inventory. However, we do offer the advantage of not having significant wait times. Here is the payment, Mr. Kim. She presents a $10 bill. Please include 2 ice cream cones in the total. Very well, Ted, what flavor of ice cream would you prefer? Excuse me, sir. I am attempting to locate the church designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. I have forgotten the name, but I am informed it is among the most beautiful structures in the city. Yes, I understand the building to which you refer. You must be new to this city. We receive numerous inquiries regarding the location of that church. Are you traveling by personal vehicle or public transportation? I am utilizing public buses today. You are correct, I am a visitor. I arrived yesterday and spent the day driving to view the various landmarks, but today I have elected to travel by bus. That is a prudent decision. It is a slower mode of travel, but it provides a superior opportunity to observe the city from the bus. Firstly, you are currently on the incorrect street. You must walk more than 2 blocks to Garvey Boulevard, where you will board the number 12 bus. Take it for approximately 1 mile. When you compensate the driver, be certain to request a transfer, you will require it. Depart from the A12 at Prescott Avenue and transfer to the M16 heading north. Perhaps I should document these instructions. I wish to avoid becoming lost. Let me confirm, I take the A12 to Prescott, then transfer to the M16 heading north? Correct. Instruct the subsequent driver to permit you to exit at Valley Road. The church you are seeking is only a short walk from there. You will find it easily. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance. Young man, I could not help but overhear your conversation with the gentleman who just provided you with directions. Yes, madam. I believe he must be mistaken, as the directions he provided are entirely incorrect. If you follow them, you will have a lengthy journey and will ultimately arrive at the zoo. How should I proceed, then? Accompany me. I am traveling in the direction of your desired bus line. Where are you from? I do not recognize your accent. I am from Lima, Peru, in South America. This is my inaugural visit to the United States, and I wish to observe as many sights as possible. I have never visited your country. The furthest south I have traveled is Mexico City. We have arrived. This is the corner of Wall Drive and Utley Street, and here is your bus stop. It is the S1, which will stop directly where we are standing, down by the lake. The bus will turn right, but you should exit and cross the street. It is named Shore Lane. And that is where the Frank Lloyd Wright Church is located? Correct. You will observe another bus stop with signage similar to this one. All the buses stop here, and they feature the same bright colored signage, making them easy to identify. Transfer there to the T2 heading south. The terminus of the line for the T2 is located just across the street from the Frank Lloyd Wright Church. The entire journey should not exceed 30 minutes. Thank you. I appreciate you rectifying my course. It would be easy to lose one's way in a city of this size. It is not difficult to navigate if you possess an accurate map of the city. I recommend that you purchase one. The city is designed with a specific plan, and the streets are systematically named. If you study a map, you will discover how straightforward it is. Is that my bus approaching? Indeed it is. I trust you possess the correct currency. Why? Will the driver not provide me with change? Not anymore. Formerly, drivers provided change, but you must now possess the exact amount. When you board, you deposit the fare into a fare box located on the floor near the driver. When you wish to disembark, pull the cord above the side windows to signal the driver. That is identical to our Peruvian buses, they also utilize a cord signal. I trust I shall not become lost. Thank you and goodbye. Please fill the tank completely. You are currently at the self-service island, Ms. Porter. If you require me to fill the tank, you will need to relocate to the lane designated as full service. I apologize, Mr. Kobuk, I had forgotten. I entered this lane out of habit. Typically, I fill the tank myself to minimize expenses. However, I am dressed for a professional interview today, and wish to avoid the risk of soiling my attire. I shall relocate to the full service island. I am aware that your vehicle requires unleaded gasoline, but I do not recall whether you prefer regular or high octane. I generally utilize the regular grade, but I am considering the high octane grade. What is your professional opinion? The vehicle has been performing somewhat sluggishly recently. I would advise you to continue using the regular grade. Your vehicle does not necessitate the higher octane rating, and it would not be a cost-effective decision to purchase the more expensive variety. The sluggish performance is likely due to an overdue tune-up. I recall when you last brought the vehicle in for maintenance, that was several months ago. Very well, I shall continue with the regular grade. I will schedule the vehicle for maintenance within the next week or so. Would you please check the oil level? The attendant inspects the oil level. It is slightly below the full indicator. It does not require a full quart. It would be acceptable to wait until your scheduled service next week, at which point we shall perform an oil change and replenish the fluid. That is a sound recommendation. While you are inspecting under the hood, would you kindly check the coolant in the radiator and the battery water level? It has been a significant amount of time since those were last inspected. The radiator is functioning correctly, however, the battery requires additional water. It is important not to allow this level to decline significantly, as it may result in a failure to start the vehicle in the future. There, that should suffice for the time being. I must now inspect the radiator temperature level. Could you please clarify what you mean by the temperature level? As we approach the winter season, we must ensure that the radiator fluid can withstand freezing temperatures. The gauge I am inserting measures the concentration of antifreeze remaining from last season. It appears to be adequate. It indicates the fluid is protected down to 15 degrees below zero. Such temperatures are rarely reached in this region. I apologize for the inconvenience, but would you be so kind as to also inspect the tire pressure? The front tires require 29 pounds of pressure, while the rear tires require 32. The attendant inflates the tires and completes the refueling process. I shall now clean the windshield, and you will be prepared for your interview. Could you provide the optimal route to the interstate highway from this location? I typically utilize public transportation for city travel, so I am not sufficiently familiar with these suburban roads. Certainly, Ms. Porter. Proceed left and continue for 2 blocks. Subsequently, make a right turn onto Sepulveda and travel for 3/4 of a mile. The interstate entrance is clearly indicated. You should encounter no difficulty locating it. What is the total amount due? The total is $20 even. She presents a $20 bill. Please drive safely, Ms. Porter, and remember to schedule your vehicle for maintenance next week. Hello. Is this the red, white, and blue taxi service? Yes, it is. Please speak more clearly, as we have a poor connection. I require a taxi, please. I am traveling by train today, and my luggage is too cumbersome to transport on public transportation. At what time do you require a cab? My train departs at 6:15, but I would like to arrive at the station no later than 5:30. What is the approximate duration of the trip? From which location? I am unaware of your address. I apologize. I reside at 435 Riverside Drive, and I have 3 medium-sized bags. Let me check. Given that it is currently rush hour, the journey will likely take approximately 30 minutes. We should arrive to collect you at approximately 500 hours. Is that acceptable? Yes, that is acceptable. Will the driver assist me with my luggage? Yes, the driver will certainly assist you. The doorbell rings at 4:55. I am pleased that you arrived punctually. This is my luggage. They place the bags into the taxi and enter. What is the anticipated cost of this journey? Please observe the meter. I estimate the cost will be between $5 and $6. However, if we encounter significant rush hour congestion, the fare may increase. I believe that charges were determined by the number of zones traversed. That was the previous system, but we transitioned to a meter-based system several years ago. Has it been a significant amount of time since you last utilized taxi services? It has been quite a while. How long have you been employed as a driver? I have been driving for 6 years. It provides a stable livelihood and allows me to interact with diverse individuals. I prefer being out in the field rather than working in an office environment. Please exercise caution regarding that truck. I would appreciate it if you would allow me to focus on the driving. I apologize. I am merely somewhat anxious regarding my arrival at the station on time. Is that the station in the distance? Yes, that is the building. Please note the clock on the facade, it is 5:25. We have arrived with 5 minutes remaining. Thank you kindly. Please accept this gratuity. Thank you. I wish you a pleasant journey. I appreciate you accompanying me to my inaugural baseball game, George. We do not participate in baseball frequently in Europe, but I have always desired to observe a match. I have often wondered what attributes of the sport generate such widespread enthusiasm. It should be an excellent match today. Professional teams compete in 162 games per season from April through October. As this is the final week in September, the season is approaching its conclusion. The two teams competing tonight are tied for first place in the American League Western Division. Both teams wish to qualify for the playoffs, so they will be playing at their highest capacity. It should serve as an example of high-caliber baseball. What are the names of the teams? The California Angels and the Kansas City Royals. They have such vibrant names and uniforms. I am looking forward to this experience and hope to comprehend the proceedings. I shall endeavor to explain the rules. Let us begin with the individual in the center. He is the pitcher. His responsibility is to throw the ball to the catcher, who is positioned behind home plate. What is the function of the man holding the implement? That is a bat. The batter attempts to strike the ball before it reaches the catcher. If he fails to strike the ball on 3 attempts, he is designated as out. Once 3 players are recorded as out, the opposing team assumes their turn at bat. Are you following the explanation? I believe so. Therefore, once 3 players are out, the opposing team takes its turn. However, what occurs if the batter successfully strikes the ball? That is a good question. If the batter strikes the ball, the opposing team attempts to catch it before it touches the ground. If a player catches the ball, it is also recorded as an out. If they fail to catch it, the batter must run to a base. Are there 4 bases in total? Correct, 4 bases, including the plate where the batter stands to strike the ball. Is that the method by which a player earns runs for his team? That is correct. If the batter, or runner, traverses all the bases successfully, his team is awarded a run. The team that accumulates the most runs wins the game. I see that there are 9 players on the field. You have explained the positions of 2 of them, the pitcher and the catcher. What are the other players designated as? The player to the right of the pitcher, positioned near first base, is the first baseman. The individual directly behind the pitcher is the second baseman, and the one to the left is the third baseman. The player situated between the second and third baseman is the shortstop. The 3 individuals positioned in the outfield are known as outfielders. Look. The batter just hit the ball a significant distance. Yes, but it traveled foul. Is that disadvantageous? No, it simply means that any ball struck outside the boundaries of the playing field is considered foul. Ordinarily, this is counted as a strike, unless the batter already has 2 strikes. In that case, it is not counted, and the batter is granted another opportunity to hit the ball. There. He struck it again. On that occasion, it traveled along the ground, toward the player at third base, who threw it to the first baseman before the batter arrived. What is occurring? He grounded out. That constituted the third out for that team, so the side is retired. That marks the conclusion of the first inning. There are 9 innings in total within a game. Who is the individual in the dark blue uniform stationed behind first base? That is an umpire, similar to a referee in football. Typically, 3 or 4 umpires officiate each game. They are the officials responsible for determining whether the pitcher has delivered a ball or a strike. I shall explain those terms subsequently and whether runners are safe or out while navigating the bases. I believe I shall refrain from asking further questions for the moment. I am becoming slightly overwhelmed by this information and the new terminology. I will simply observe and enjoy what I am able to comprehend.